Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 351 of the Ping Pong Flick Show. There are some minor DC updates, maybe probably even only one or two. But I thought I'd hint at the first one because it's a giant spoiler, people would say. So I'm just going to allude to the fact that something happened today. And that is Grace Randolph. We all know Grace Randolph. She does a lot of videos in terms of box office, movie math, and a lot of inside stuff as well. Some of them come true maybe, and some of them don't. Some of them yet to come true and seem so far-fetched, like the whole Wonder Woman 1984 being a kind of like a Flashpoint type of movie. Well, she talked about today in terms of Black Mask. Black Mask in Birds of Prey. Apparently, he is a gay and very flamboyantly gay. And there's a plot twist that I'm not going to talk about because it seems like a pretty big spoiler. She is, if you're interested at all, then you can go ahead and check out. I think she's going to do a video about it either today or tomorrow about what she found out in her inside sources, found out for the film. And also, you also notice that that whole gay aspect was also covered on We Got This Covered, which a lot of people says it's fake news as well. So who knows about that? But Birds of Prey is looking to be very curious and interesting. And either way you look at it, either good or bad, it is different. Kind of almost like the Joker movie, where the Joker movie is like, it's not following the comics at all. Apparently, maybe Birds of Prey also not truly following the comics either. So we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that when the movie comes out next year. So, but that's all I want to talk about that. I don't want to go into any spoilers or details about that because some of the stuff she says, it seemed pretty like a major plot twist within the movie. So I think that's something that should be reserved for a later thing when it seems not less. It could be a crazy movie. Who knows? But before we get into the biggest news, I just want to let you know that Arron Garza put out another Batman v Superman trailer video, and this time using the style of the Godzilla trailer, the second Godzilla trailer, and it's really good. The way he plays it into that Over the Rainbow song, and the way he cuts it's pretty fantastic. I mean, it's almost like he's remarketing Batman v Superman again, and people want to go watch it again. So it's pretty fantastic, and I think he probably does a better job here than some of the later trailers that they were putting out for that movie. And so we'll see. I mean, we'll see, but we've seen it. So check it out. I'm gonna link that video in the description below. Check out Batman v Superman trailer number 2. In the style of Godzilla King of the Monsters Over the Rainbow trailer. So, now the biggest news today is Warner Media Group had officially announced their streaming service, Warner Media's new streaming service, and they're calling it HBO Max. Now, there's little video that came out, and you see a lot of cuts and shots of different movies and TVs and stuff, and a lot of people recognize that maybe like 4 or 5 of those shots came from the Justice League movie that we saw in the theaters. So I don't know. I mean, that in itself kind of brought a lot to attention to that thing. But before we get into that, I'm going to read what they're talking about. Warner Media put this out in a statement. Warner Media names upcoming direct-to-consumer service HBO Max. Global powerhouse Friends, future hits from the CW network, including Batwoman, original movies from Greg Berlanti and Reese Witherspoon, fan favorites The French Prince of Bel-Air, Pretty Little Liars will stream on HBO Max. HBO Max brings together HBO, a robust slate of new originals and programming from Warner Brothers' New Line DC Entertainment, CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, The CW, Turner Classic Movies, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Crunchyroll. Oh, Crunchyroll, interesting. Rooster Teeth, Looney Tunes, and more to offer something for everyone in the home. Warner Media today unveiled HBO Max as the name of its new streaming service, which will offer an impressive direct-to-consumer experience for everyone, ranging from families with young children to adults of all ages. Anchored with and inspired by the legacy of HBO's excellence and award-winning storytelling, the new service will be maximized with an extensive collection of exclusive original programming, Max originals, and the best of the best from WarnerMedia's enormous portfolio of beloved brands and libraries. There's a whole bunch of different movies and TV shows that they're focusing on here. I'm going to skip that. HBO Max, scheduled to launch commercially in spring of 2020, is anticipated to premiere with 10,000 hours of premium content. HBO Max will bring together the diverse riches of Warner Media to create programming and user experiences not seen before in a streaming platform. HBO's world-class programming leads the way, the quality of which will be the guiding principle for our new array of Max originals, our exciting acquisitions, and the very best of the Warner Brothers libraries, direct with a phenomenon that is Friends, said Robert Greenblatt, chairman, Warner Media Entertainment and direct-to-consumer. Under the leadership of the two strongest creative visionaries, Casey Bloys and Kevin Riley, and two of the most experienced digital experts, Tony Goncalves and Andy Forssell, I have no doubt they and their dedicated teams will deliver the world's best storytelling to audiences of all ages, whenever, wherever they want it. And so they announced a lot more content here in terms of the Warner Media streaming service. And nothing on here. Interesting is nothing on here about the Justice League thing, but it is in the actual teaser that they've done. But with this announcement, of course, Warner Brothers, every time Warner Brothers puts out something, a lot of fans put out a tweet in response to it, release a Snyder Cut, things like that. I felt this deserved one, so I retweeted this and I said, yes, I will definitely just subscribe to it when they release a Snyder Cut. So that was my comment on that, and of course, it already blew up before I even tweeted, and because it blew up once, right when they announced, or right when they tweeted it out, the fans, Snyder fans, and people who want to see the Snyder Cut, like even people like Sonny Bunch, they tweeted to it, they responded to it, and it got attention once again. And this time it got attention from NewsWeek, which was interesting because it's going to this route. It's getting a lot of attention in the media now. After the Washington Post, after the Ringer, Business Insider, it's getting to this outside medium, which is something that we really needed to do. And I believe it's in a positive way because of how positive people are asking for it nicely. They're not swearing, they're not cussing, at least we hope not. And they're asking for them politely, and they're just responding to those tweets politely. And I think that positivity and that want for the Snyder Cut is bringing it to the public more and more, bringing it to media, bringing it to reporters who want to report about it. And there are reporters who are trying to learn more now that I've seen those tweets, and we're going to hear more stories about it. And I think this is a fantastic thing. This is from Hannah Preston, Newsweek. What is the Snyder Cut? Demand for an alternate version of Justice League surges following HBO Max announcement. Roughly 2 years after the release of Justice League, and diehard DC Comics fans will still have one demand: the release of the Snyder Cut. While conversations about Zack Snyder's DC brainchild have been an underground trend amongst superhero fans, the discussion hit Twitter Tuesday after Warner Media's announcement of new streaming service HBO Max. Introducing the next big thing, HBO Max, our upcoming streaming service featuring exclusive originals and the best of the best from the Warner Media portfolio, Warner Media tweeted Tuesday. Following the streaming announcement, much of the attention was focused on the departure of Friends from Netflix. However, some DC fans became angered after scenes of Justice League appeared in HBO Max's promotional trailer. Many fans were unsatisfied with Justice League. Director Zack Snyder turned creative control of the film over to Joss Whedon during production, and the belief is that an alternate, better version of Justice League exists somewhere. You seriously have the nerve to include Justice League scenes in this trailer. When will you learn? The fans want the Snyder Cut, one Twitter user wrote. The fans want the real Justice League by Zack Snyder. Now you have the platform to hashtag release the Snyder Cut, another fan added. Believe me, fans will not disappoint you guys. Big movie, big... What happened? Believe me, fans will not disappoint you guys. Big movie, big publicity, big chance to earn money with respect and dignity. Want me to sign up for HBO Max? Hashtag release the Snyder Cut, not that studio mandated mess of Justice League you're including in that ad. And you can have my money and the money of our movement, another person concluded. I'll instantly sub for a year. The ball is in your court. It's not completely clear if released Snyder's version of the 2017 will even be possible. However, the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice director has numerously teased elements of his version of Justice League. Most recently, the director released a black and white image of Cyborg in a cemetery, according to a Movie Web report. In the photo, the half-human, half-robot hero is shown pounding the ground at a family plot, believed to be his mother's grave. Thanks to the mini sneak peek provided by Snyder, fans have been led to believe that his hero would have had more emotional story arc in the original cut of Justice League. Snyder left Justice League shortly before the movie was headed for a reshoot following his daughter's tragic death. In my mind, I thought it was cathartic to go back to work, to just bury myself and see if that was the way through it. Snyder said at the time, the demands of this job are pretty insane. It is all consuming. And the last 2 months, I've come to the realization I've decided to take a step back from the movie to be with my family, be with my kids who really need me. They are all having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. Following his departure, Avengers director Joss Whedon took over the director's role. Since the release of Justice League and the subsequent disappointment amongst fans, critics have begun calling the film Justice League. Now, interesting that he says critics have become, the fans, Snyder fans have been calling this Justice League. Fiona said it, everybody said it, and just caught on Justice League. So, critics, unless they're calling us the critics, then that would make sense. But other than that, it is a pretty positive article in terms of us and how we're disappointed in it. And it's in a medium that has never been there before. They even mentioned Movie Web, which is another medium that has talked about this at great length. And this is awesome. I mean, this is really cool. NewsWeek, man. Oh, you got Washington Post, you got Ringer. It's a Business Insider. I'm happy that it's tapped into these outside our medium sources, right? Newspaper sites, Toronto Sun, Vancouver, these kind of sites that you normally wouldn't hear anything about these type of movie things. These type of things where you usually hear in comicbookmovie.com, Heroic Hollywood, stuff like that. So I'm truly happy that it's gone outside the range of like Screen Rant and not that they're already not good, but I'm just saying it expands more outside of our bubble when it gets to this type of thing, and it will gain support. We'll probably, people read about this and like, hey, I want to see that too. I would be pretty damn curious to see this Snyder Cut, and if I'm all for POC and I want to see more Cyborg, and why do we champion Black Panther in theater when we literally had Cyborg in this movie who was cut, unjustly cut? Then we could have had a movie that was centered around Cyborg, Ray Fisher. So that's something that I believe another person is going to be writing about. So it's all these different aspects are attacking it and attacking the issue. And I think that's a great thing to make it more aware than it has ever been aware before. And get people interested, Googling it, perhaps watching this video, who knows. But that's not the only article that came out today as well. So Bleeding Cool also put out an article in terms of, because of the HBO Max streaming service trailer, and because of the fans that go under it and tweeting out, retweeting it, and demanding the Snyder Cut, it has blew up some more. So this is posted by Jude Terror. Can Warner Brothers' new HBO Max streaming service succeed without the Snyder Cut? Today, Warner Brothers finally announced their highly anticipated streaming service HBO Max, teasing content including Game of Thrones, Friends, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pretty Little Liars, and a multitude of content from various Warner-owned content producers. But does the success of HBO Max hinge on Warner Brothers' willingness to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League? And it goes into what is the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I won't kind of bore you in this because you've heard it so many times before, but I am gonna right down here is, however, hardcore fans of Zack Snyder know colloquially as SNYDERBRONIES. Whoa, wait a minute. Who calls us Snyder Bros? I've never heard anybody call us Snyder Bronies until now. That's just weird. Yeah, okay, whatever. Immediately sprung into action, demanding that Warner Brothers release the Snyder Cut, a version of the film which restores Zack Snyder's vision. The cut is known to exist within a Warner Brothers vault, but the studio has belligerently refused to release it. Steadfast in their support, Snyder Bronies have continued to campaign for the film, building websites, buying billboards, and marching on Burbank in support of Snyder, who has all the while fanned the flames for the cut on Zack Snyder-themed social media service Vero. Oh my God, there's a subheader title, Snyder Bronies respond. With Warner Brothers set to launch HBO Max next spring, it seems like the studio finally has the perfect venue to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Sure, it would be better if the film was released in theaters, which could reverse the money loss from Justice League's original theatrical release and maybe even overtake the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But as a second best option, providing the Snyder Cut as an exclusive to HBO Max would be a surefire way to build subscribers. Thank you. That's what we've been trying to say. And as Warner Bros. Officially announced, HBO Max on Twitter, Snyder Bronies used the opportunity to remind Warner Brothers that they're still here. They're still demanding the release of the Snyder Cut. And then it goes ahead and shows all these different tweets, response to the HBO Max Twitter post today. Wow, this site captures all. I'm going to link this in the description below so you can check out the article yourself and the tweets that they've captured in regards to this. Now, a mathematical certainty. We examined 60 replies to Warner Brothers' tweet, and of those, 20 were replies demanding Warner Brothers release the Snyder Cut. As a statistical sampling, that's 1/3 of all respondents, and when extrapolated to the total population of the planet, that's over 2.5 billion potential subscribers who would sign up for the service just to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Well, that's an interesting statistic. If Warner Brothers ends up charging $20 for a 1-month subscription to the service, as they are expected to charge a few dollars more than the current $15 price of an HBO Now subscription, that means that Warner Brothers could earn $50 billion in just a single month from Snyder Bronies alone, more than the entire box office take of every movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that assumes that Snyder Bronies will only want to watch the Snyder Cut one time. If, as is more likely, they will want to watch the film over and over, they could continue to pay the monthly subscription fee. Wow. In conclusion, the facts here don't lie. If Warner Brothers wants HBO Max to succeed, they have no choice but to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League, finally giving Snyder Bronies what they want and ensuring their own financial benefit. When launching a new product, it's important to make a good first impression, and what better impression could Warner Brothers make than by releasing The Snyder Cut. Wow, this is an incredible article. Okay, first of all, it's just an article, and it's weird. They're calling us SNYDERBRONIES. I've not heard that before. It's almost like the pony one. What is the My Little Pony, the Pronies? I forgot what they call it. My Little Pony Bronies or something. But okay, but this part here that I really want to focus in on is, and it's all about that algorithm I was talking about, right? I was talking about how there's got to be somebody out there. They're looking at an algorithm or something, and to show that, hey, if this a percentage of this is doing this, that must equate to this much amount when you compare to potential people, right? And so I love this mathematical certainty here, where they examine the replies, and as a statistical sampling, that's a third of all respondents, and they extrapolate it to the total population of the planet Earth. And that's over 2.5 billion potential subscribers who would sign up for the service just to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Money on the table. I'm shaking the table, I'm sorry. Money on the table. They're leaving money on the table by not doing this. Look at that. They could earn $50 billion in just a single month from Snyder Bronies alone, or Snyder fans. So I love this take that they done. I'm probably going to try to copy and paste that and tweet that out. But I love this take. This is a take that I fully understand. I fully am saying that they already should be looking at this. If they're a company, a giant multi-billion-dollar company, and they're not looking at the numbers this way, then they are not a smart company. You know what I mean? They are not a smart company. They have to have groups and teams that do algorithms to check if a certain percentage of replies equates to a certain percentage of people who want something, a certain percentage of customers that will equate to money. This is it. That mathematical certainty, and I love what they said here, and I think it cannot be expressed enough. It's money here. I can't believe, even if the movie took $20 to $40 million to finish, just looking, this is what the AT&T thing needed, right? This right here, this little point right here, should be talked about more, because this will squash whatever means to put money into it. That should totally decimate that at all. And if, like I said, this is still about ego, well, ego is getting in the way of big business, right? And they have to already know this. They have to already be looking at these numbers. And if they're not, I hope Ann Sarnoff, who is supposedly walking through Warner Brothers this week, probably got the go-ahead for the Warner meeting, but I hope she's reading these articles. I hope she's reading that. And I hope she's understanding the potential of a Snyder Cut release, the potential of getting more subscribers, the potential of the money that will come instantly upon releasing the Snyder Cut, or even, they don't even have to release it right now. They can just announce it. Imagine just announcing, all right, the Snyder Cut is coming to HBO Max. Boom, sign up. Sign up. That easy. And then you can work on finishing it up. But maybe when people sign up already, and those monthly things could go towards the Snyder Cut, to go towards to actually putting it together, then that can work too. But announce it. Put it out. Say, we're going to do it. This is Warner HBO Max announcing our first major motion picture title, Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I don't know if it's going to call it the Snyder Cut. Including the Dark Side Cut, whatever that Zack Snyder wants to call it, we're going to release it. This is the version. Enjoy 3.5 hours of a Justice League movie you've never seen. Come down, subscribe to HBO Max to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Boom! Insta money. That's what I want to say. So, I'm glad these articles are coming out, and I hope more are coming out as the days go by, as more attention is gaining upon this, and actually having articles where actually looking at the possibility of this making money rather than it being a myth. It's past that point. Now it's like, well, Warner Brothers, what do you want to do? You want to make money, or do you want to look dumb? So I love this. I love this article. I love both of them, and I love that the attention this is getting. All right, guys. Well, that is it for tonight. I want to thank you so much for subscribing. I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.